Hello, everybody, and welcome to Fortress Comic News, episode 271. I am one of your hosts, Chris, alongside my magnificent co-host, Mike. What's up, Mike?
Hey, what's up? I wanted to press that button. I've always used like the mute button if like someone's talking, but I wanted to press. I thought it was a high five button, but it's not. It's a we're talking about the podcast interface. I have something to say. We should just start doing this to guests when they keep talking. You're just like, "Hello, I have something to say."
So I don't know if this shows on the video version or not, but for the audio people, it also like bounces your image.
Yeah.
So it's very distracting.
Yeah, it like bounces it in the chat. That's funny. Like, hello, I have something to say. I can't believe they must have just added that. I don't know if that was always there.
It's been there for a minute. I mean, I have all kinds of weird stuff I could do.
Oh, okay. Well, you're the master controller of it all.
Like, listen.
Why are we doing these sound effects every time? Every time we make a joke, Chris. I've never heard you use that. Oh wait, we don't make very good jokes.
I've been thinking for a while of because you can add your own sound effects. So like, I should find a rim shot.
But yeah.
That way, people will get my dry jokes when I'm making fun of something.
Why do you not have like clips of like Kevin Conroy from animated series?
Oh, that'd be awesome.
You need to get sound bites. I am the knight. Come on, dude. There's so much wasted potential here. Or you just do like all the Arnold Schwarzenegger quotes. Oh man, okay.
Every time I want Mike to shut up, I just go, "It's time to freeze."
Everybody freeze. Anyways, everybody don't leave us. We have an interview today, Mr. Daniel Brody with his book Morgan's Organs. So, Chris,
I am a
handled
huge
that one.
Morgan's Organs fan.
Yeah, you were reading that, right? So, you're really liking it.
Yeah, he's been away for a little while. I don't know if we'll get into it in the interview, but he was kind of gone for a minute, and he's just kind of come back with a bang with the latest issue, and I'm really happy because I love that book.
Awesome. Cool. So look forward to that. Had some crazy episodes of TV to watch this week. So I believe it came out on Wednesday, and I don't think I was really expecting it to, but the season 3 of Umbrella Academy is on Netflix. I watched the first episode. It's good. The end of last season for everybody, I forgot, they do a recap, but they end up in like an alternate timeline where there's, instead of the Umbrella Academy, it's called the Sparrow Academy.
Yeah.
So that the whole episode is like meeting them, what that universe is. And they think they saved the world, obviously, but lo and behold, they didn't, and that's kind of how the first episode wraps up. But there's a crazy scene. It involves Footloose, and that's all I'll say. So, yeah, it's pretty funny. I mean, it's great. It's definitely like its tone is completely different from The Boys, so it doesn't feel like too much superhero stuff. It even like separates itself from Doom Patrol somehow, but I think Doom Patrol is just way over the top, and Umbrella Academy still kind of toes the line between serious and not so serious.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good first episode. I really liked it.
Well, now that you've mentioned it, I need to binge it this week and activate my Netflix because that's all I've been waiting for.
Yep, there you go. Obi-Wan episode 6, the finale. Really good episode. There's a lot of things I really liked. After seeing the episode, I wish it was like, honestly, you could have taken the series and given me my personal opinion. The 5th and 6th episode are like the best episodes. I feel like all the storylines were really strong, but the one that I really care for was the whole third sister thing, just because like her story took away from Obi-Wan, and I just want more Obi-Wan in an Obi-Wan TV show. I didn't really care for the whole Uncle Owen scene where they're like shooting at her, and you're gonna tell me that Luke like never saw a Jedi before, Like he won't remember that seeing a lightsaber at all or anything like that. Other than that, though, like the fight scene between Obi-Wan and Vader, where he like slices him in the face, and then they mesh his voice with Vader's voice. That was sick. That was so cool.
That whole fight was phenomenal. That was some of the best Jedi stuff we've seen in live action ever.
Yeah, so that was like the best part of the show right there. It was so good.
I loved everything about this episode. The Vader stuff was great. I love the. I mean, if I wanted to nitpick, I'd be like, why didn't Obi-Wan just kill Vader there?
Yeah, right.
Let's not get down that rabbit hole too much, but I like the emotional moment of Vader saying, I killed Anakin Skywalker, and having that, like, you know, because now that resonates more in the original movies.
Yeah, right. Where he says, what? Vader killed your father?
Yes.
Yeah. So like that's clearly why he says it.
Yeah, and you know, him walking up to Luke and saying hello there was phenomenal. The scene with Leia when he says goodbye was just so great. Like everything about this episode was awesome.
Yeah.
And then the prophecy came true.
As far as
Liam Neeson was in this episode.
Oh, yes.
And that was new dialogue.
Yep. So he got $1 million to show up for 15 seconds with a wig on, just making him look like Jesus in the desert. Yes. That was pretty cool. Yeah, that was really cool to see him come back. The part that stood out to me for a while in the episode was on Obi-Wan and Darth Vader fighting, and he was like, you know, he says the whole Anakin, Anakin is dead and all this stuff, and he goes, all right then, Darth. It was just weird to hear him call him Darth. I was like, wait a second. I was like, it's almost like he's insulting him because everybody says like Vader or Lord Vader, but then he's just like, okay, Darth. I was like, wait a second, that's not his first name. But no, yeah, it was a good episode for sure. There was just some parts that obviously I just want more Obi-Wan and that amazing lightsaber battle. That was so cool.
Yeah, all in all, I agree with you on the third sister thing. I didn't really care. I mean, my biggest complaint with her character was that I wish they just let her have that death at the end of the last episode and just ended it. But this whole, like, it's tiring at this point of, like, the bad guy becomes good because they see the light, blah, blah, blah. And her character wasn't strong enough for me to care that she comes back. Like, she has a tragic backstory, but that, to me, doesn't make up for the fact that she's still a piece of shit. And I thought she was great as just kind of a front and center villain with an obvious grudge, and it could have just ended at that. We didn't need to build up this character to be something else. And yeah, and I feel like at the end of the day, it's an excuse to try to. I will not be shocked if we get an announcement of some sort of spinoff with her.
Yeah,
she's going to pop up somewhere else, and I don't know. I mean, it's Star Wars, so I'll probably try it.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's enough to hold their own thing.
It was funny because like you could almost pick what every character says. Like, all right, I'm going to be off doing my thing. You're like, there goes another show.
Yeah, like, and now the rumors of season 2 of Obi-Wan, they could do something,
right?
But I almost would prefer if this just stood still on its own.
Yeah. I think it would be fine. Before we do Boys episode 6 Herogasm, I'll do the Pat's Flash Facts, where comic book science is made up and the Speed Force doesn't matter. That's what he says. He says the episode's all over the place. So the Still Force is a thing, everybody, if you all forgot. This is season 8, episode 19. So the Still Force kills Thawne, who is Tom Cavanaugh that's in jail. Because that was the big reveal early on that, Reverse Flash is Tom Cavanaugh, blah, blah, blah. Still Force reveals himself and the other forces to be Negative Force counterparts of the real forces. What? Okay, here's where we get a little comic book sciencey. So they have the Still Force, the Sage Force, and the Strength Force in the show, and now there's a negative version. So now there's like 6 forces, I believe. It's almost like Captain Planet. Barry continues to train the Mina character with her powers, and then the negative forces attack them and the other Thawne. There's another Thawne, Tom Lesher, saying that they had been looking for Thawne to kill him. Okay. Iris appears in 2049 because she's had time sickness, everybody. With Bart and Nora. Nora tries to send her back, but she can't, so she goes back to 2022 and says, hey, you can't get her back. And then the negative forces infected Iris with the time sickness so that she would infect all of the positive forces around her, I guess. Caitlin builds a machine hoping to bring back Killer Frost. She starts up the machine, and scene. Barry knows he can't defeat negative forces alone. He helps Mina share her speed with Thawne. What the fuck? Barry also gives Thawne his reverse flash ring and suit. Then Barry's fighting, the Still Force, throws the lightning bolt, and the Still Force summons Irish like a shield, and the lightning bolt kills her. The negative tachyons from her body go into Thawne. He starts screaming in pain as his face starts to melt to reveal the reverse flash Tom Cavanaugh. What? What? So he hits her with a lightning bolt. The lightning bolt, the energy from killing her travels to the reverse flash, and it was Tom Cavanaugh the whole time.
Just put it down. Just stop.
Do you think they have like this crazy like whiteboard in where they write the Flash show? Because this just sounds so bad.
I think they don't care anymore.
Yeah, the writers clearly don't care.
I think they just are like, well, why is he strong? Strength Force. Okay, sure.
Sure.
And then somebody in the background's like, we have 2 reverse flashes running around. I don't know. Barry gives them a suit, and that gets rid of one of them. Like, just
then hit the other one, kill the other one, but reveal he was this time sickness the whole time. Oh god,
it hurts my brain.
Yeah. So, the show needs to die. A show that doesn't need to die. Episode 6 of The Boys, Herogasm. Delivered everything that we had hoped. It did it very tastefully, though. It wasn't like all Herogasm the whole episode. As far as like a relevant episode and an episode that like had some weight to it, this is like one of the heaviest ones as far as fight scenes, like character interactions. We see like A-Train starting to flop. To the fact where he's like, okay, something happened to someone close to me. Maybe I am a piece of shit. He like apologizes to Huey when he sees him at Herogasm, and it looked like a sincere apology. And then by the end of the episode, he grabs Skyfox from here. You know, the name of the episode is Everybody's Going to Herogasm for a specific reason, right? The scene where A-Train grabs Skyfox though and runs him across the asphalt until he's dead was sick. And then he obviously has a heart attack, and we think he's dead. That was a crazy scene, and that was just a small part of the episode. We got to see the Deep bang not a dolphin, an octopus. So there was that. The scenes were like, oh my god, the mother's milk scene where he just gets covered in all the bodily fluids in the orgy was like absolutely disgusting. But it's funny because like he has OCD, so he's like a clean freak. Oh man. And then you have like, you know, the character interactions of like, I thought it was interesting seeing Soldier Boy talk with Huey and actually like talk about how he's blacking out when he's shooting that nuclear blast. And actually feels sorry for the shit he did. And then we come to find out, you know, Soldier Boy's coming for all of the original 7, and Black Noir like takes
payback.
off. Oh,
He's
Payback,
going
yeah.
for payback.
Yeah. And Black Noir rips the tracker out of his arm and takes off immediately. The fight scene between Homelander, Huey, Butcher, and Soldier Boy was fucking awesome. Where you actually see him like bleeding and like getting the shit beat out of him, and then he flies away because he knew he couldn't handle it. That was great. The whole like B story with Frenchie was good. Finally, like resolving that whole Russian thing. Like it seems like they'll probably leave him alone now.
Maybe.
Hopefully, I'm sure that won't come back to bite them in the ass. And then the reveal at the end that the interaction between oh my god, so many good character interactions. The director of the like FBI division that is popping people's heads kind of reveals that she knows her and Huey know who she is, and tries to get Starlight to work for her. Starlight's I just want to do my own thing, and by the end of the episode, she has like 18 million Instagram followers and posts a video like revealing all the shit that Vought has been doing, which was awesome.
Yeah, I like the ongoing joke of Frenchie's gonna be so mad that he missed this.
Yeah, everybody says that. That was so good.
I cracked out laughing when the Russian hero comes with the elongated man part.
Yep.
I thought they did. It wasn't the hero-gasm I wanted,
right?
But it was still really well done. In terms of the shock and awe of it and like what it was about.
Mm-hmm.
But the episode as a whole was fantastic. I don't really think there's anything I have to add in terms of plot points, but it was just everything was done so well. It was done for the correct shocking moments, and I'm even more pulled in because much like The Walking Dead did in the original years, it's weaving in and out of the comics in a way that's interesting because it's coming back to big moments,
right?
But it's doing its own thing along the way, and it's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think they're doing a great job with all the characters for sure. Yeah, I'm loving it this season. It doesn't feel like we're gonna hit a point at least within another couple seasons of like, okay, maybe we should start calling it quits. Like, there's still a lot to be found out and seen.
Yeah, I'll be interested how they move forward with the show because they announced recently season 4 is going to be a thing, to no shock of anybody. But I don't know. I don't think Homelander dies at the end of the season.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But if he does, I would be interested to see where the show takes the story.
Yeah.
Because anyone that doesn't know, that doesn't happen till the end of the comic series.
Right.
So the whole comic is the grudge between Butcher and Homelander. That's kind of the overarching story of the comic series. So I feel like they have to keep that in this as well. But they are kind of rushing to these big moments of conflict between Butcher and Homelander. So
yeah, or maybe they make Soldier Boy the new villain or something.
I don't know, but it'll be interesting.
Yeah.
I almost feel like Soldier Boy's a one-off. I don't see him making it past this season.
Yeah,
but we'll see.
Yeah. Either way, loving it. So let's hop to this interview with Daniel Brody, and we'll see everybody on the other side. The other side.
Mike's back on the other side.
I'm here. Before we get into comic news, I wanted to show you. I tweeted about it, but this awesome Quest Aside cover I told you about.
Oh yeah, that's
the
great.
D&D one, and on it says "It's always sunny in the realms." So how do I not get that issue? And then I picked up Jurassic League 1 and this awesome variant cover. I don't know if
That's fantastic.
This. Yeah, it's like the Dark Knight Returns dinosaur cover. Sick. All right, let's get to the comic news. After the announcement last week, the Planet of the Apes IP is moving to Marvel. We have the first announcement of what will be published. Marvel is set to release a collection of the original Marvel Planet of the Apes comic series from 1973. This collection will include issues 1 through 11 of that series. Okay. Interesting to you?
Yeah, I'll be picking it up. I've never read it before, but
okay.
I love me some Planet of the Apes, so I'm down for this. And if they do the same job they did with Conan in terms of like remastering it and making it look really nice, and then putting it into either their, I think the first one's going to be a hardcover like omnibus,
Okay,
but eventually they'll get in their Epic Collection soft cover, and those are really nice, well done.
cool. Marvel has announced their plans of 40th anniversary of Miracle Man. After years of legal battles, they can now publish new projects using the character. First will be a one-shot comic titled Miracle Man Zero. It'll feature stories from Neil Gaiman, Mark Buckingham, Jason Aaron, Mike Terry, Ty Templeton, Ryan Stegman, many more. Some big names there. After that release, Neil Gaiman and Mark Buckingham will complete their run in Miracle Man that was originally published in the 90s. Wow.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. You had some big names on that issue 0.
Yeah.
And I really like the original, well, I should say the revamped Miracle Man from the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Neil Gaiman doing a good run, and a great run done by the original author, known as Alan Moore. So, good stuff. I look forward to more because he's a cool, interesting character, and I'll be interested to see if, when, and how they introduce him into the Marvel Universe.
Yeah. Yeah, that'll be interesting. I might have to catch up on that because that's something I've never read.
I do highly recommend it. Especially, the Alan Moore stuff's really great, and it's Alan Moore doing Shazam.
Yeah,
Like,
that's awesome. Conan the Barbarian is a new home for comics after leaving Marvel just months ago. The IP holders announced that Titan Comics will be the new home of Conan projects starting 2023. This also includes all new collections of previous runs. There's still no word as to how this will affect Savage Avengers over at Marvel. Interesting. Aren't some like Titan comics? Aren't they like kind of go inside with movies? I know Legendary Comics is obviously Legendary Pictures, but I thought Titan Comics had some like movie properties too.
Yeah, they do a lot of IP stuff. I think they're the home of Doctor Who right now. I think
That's
their
right.
big claim to fame.
Yep.
I could be wrong about that, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see who they can attract to a Conan book at Titan. I've never seen really like standout names on a Titan book, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
IDW has announced that Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is getting a new limited series from Eric Burnham and Tim Laddie on the art. The new series will be an adaptation of the 80s cartoon series. That's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's smart too. I think almost everybody that's a Turtles fan is either introduced from one of two places, and it's either at least older Turtle fans, the 80s cartoon, the 90s movies. So,
right.
Jumping into that universe, doing more with it, adapting it, whatever, I'm sure you're going to get a bunch of people interested.
Oh, yeah. I might even check that out. Because I was a fan of the cartoon back in the day. Before we talk about what we read, I went and got a library card last weekend.
Okay.
And if you didn't know, there's a lot of online stuff you can use with a library card. So the Schenectady area has a bunch of libraries you can go to. I checked out their graphic novel section. It was a little lacking, but you can you can put books on reserve. But most libraries now, people, at least in New York, are working with Hoopla. It's an app. And so I downloaded it, used my library card, and there was over 25,000 comics to read for free. And within those, there's they actually release individual issues. So even Saga is up to issue 59 or something like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so they I was so surprised to see individual issues, relevant issues, stuff that's coming out. And then so right now I just downloaded the trade. I'm reading King of Spies by Mark Miller that you read. I really like it. And then I'm going to catch up on Ice Cream Man. Every volume of Ice Cream Man's on here. The Boys, Ghostbusters, so many the Stranger Things comics, the new one that just came out about D&D. Yeah, just so many comics and a lot of Vault Comics too and stuff. Scout Comics. There's a lot of cool publishers on here, so check it out if you're looking to digitally read some comics. You can read them on your computer too. So Yeah.
Do they have like an app for your
Tablet. Yeah.
tablet or?
Yeah. So Hoopla works on a tablet, a phone, or you just have an account on a computer, and you download. It's not just that; it's audiobooks, movies, all free. It's crazy. Yeah. So like when you sign up for Hoopla, you input your library card. So that's how it works. So you do need a library card.
Interesting.
Yep. Okay. So what I read this week. Did you read Black Adam issue 1?
I did not. So I'll be upfront with you and everybody else. I've been in safety meetings all week.
Oh, that's
so
right.
I
Yeah.
read a total of 1 comic book this week.
Okay.
But
Well, I
I
read
did not
quite a
even
bit.
buy Black Adam because I didn't care,
Okay.
to be fair.
It was a good issue. Black Adam issue 1, Christopher Priest, Sandoval on the art. It starts off with like a younger Black Adam. They really, I think they go with the effect of like Black Adam has a champion, kind of like Billy Batson. And he's sitting in a courtroom board, like at a UN conference or something, and he's like, it shows him in the past like killing Darkseid, but it ends up being an illusion that was made by Desaad, and he was looking for Darkseid. But as that happens, he gets like injured and infected by something. He finds out in real time that in current time that his political rival dies for someone in his country. And the alter ego is named Theo. He seems younger, like Billy Batson, but there's so I guess the political person that he was trying to meet is some nurse at a local hospital. So like everybody's interested in meeting this guy. People are coming after this guy. And Black Adam like has him captured and like brought to his country, and it looks like he like tells him that he's dying and he's going to hand him over. This guy is the heir or descendant of Black Adam, and he's a black man from Washington D.C., like African American. So this is interesting because we'll have a change of, and he seems like someone who's like, you know, a very woke character, talk about like racial injustice and stuff. So like, it'll be interesting to see what he does with if he truly is going to get the powers of Black Adam. I thought it was interesting because I think his last name is Adam, so he's like related to the line of heroes or something. But it was an interesting take. Aquaman, The Flash, Voidsong #1, Jackson Lanzig, Colin Kelly, Vasco Georgiev on the art.
It's my one comic.
Okay, I really liked it. I mean, it was really a lot of setup, but it's exactly what they described it to us. I had no qualms about it. I really liked the issue.
Yeah, my only qualms about it were the Flash parts didn't get me, but
yeah,
I understand what they were doing with they were trying to create the connection between they both were like having arguments with their wives and like having an issue at home, but then when shit hit the fan, the first person they go to and are upset about is that their significant others. So it's I get what they're doing there. I like the idea of like everybody's kind of stuck in this Voidsong except for those two, and now they have to fight this alien invasion together. It seems fun. But yeah, I'll be getting issue 2. It's only 3 issues, so I'm down to just complete it.
Yeah, I thought it was a
really
fun issue.
Yeah.
Shaolin Cowboy, Cruel to Be Kin #2, Jeff Darrow, Dale Stewart. Amazing art, as always. The art really tells the story of the Shaolin Cowboy. He's still fighting his way through the desert with this like guy who's riding a jellyfish. The guy's talking about his chi power and how he can use it to like manipulate things, and he like summons these like seagulls and like birds to fight for him. And so there's this amazing like 4 or 5 page spread of Shaolin Cowboy using his sword and just like slicing through seagulls as they're all trying to attack him. And then one of them at the end, like the head seagull, has like 2 like switchblades in his hands, so they're like fighting each other like sword fighting. It's amazing, and really, it's just like watching a kung fu movie in comic book form. So there's not a whole lot heavy plot here. It's just a lot of good action, and the art, Stewart's art, is just amazing. So if you're really a big fan of his art, you need to check it out because the art speaks for itself. GILT, Number 3. This is the time traveling book by Ahoy Comics. It's really good. Elisa Whitney and Morrison. The art is fantastic. You know, they're finding out that her being in the past, manipulating time, is having consequences. With these 2 missing planes that have disappeared like 30 years apart, and now they're flipping around. We're getting more characters involved in time travel that seem to be like part of this like crew or like this society. So I think it's good. I'll stick with it. Batman the Knight, 6 out of 10. This is the issue where they learn how to shoot guns and arrows, but then there's this conflict between the guy who's there with Bruce and how like the guy who's training them finds out this guy that is training with Bruce doesn't have the same motives as Bruce, and he thinks he's going to be a serial killer, so they confront him, and you can imagine how that goes. Radiant Red. This is part of the whole Radiant Black series. Radiant Red does another heist, and she gets screwed over by the people she was working with to pay off her debt. So, and the reporter is still trying to find her out. Rogue Sun, number 5. This kind of is like the origin. We find out in Last Rogue Sun that not only was his dad a hero, but the mother becomes a hero to kind of like stop the father from doing what he was doing and killed him. So now the father's like, okay, well your mom's even crazier than I am. She's the bad person. So at the end of the issue, the Rogue Son, the son, is actually going to fight the mother. So that's where that left off. And then The Wrong Earth, Confidence Man with Mark Waid, Leonard Kirk. This is a great issue. Mark Waid writing in the Wrong Earth area. It was an issue between like the Dark Universe and the 60s Batman universe, and a story about like the Robin character, Stinger, and how like he thinks he's not doing a good job, and obviously like the Dark Knight version is more cruel to his like his Stinger, his Robin version of Robin, more than like the 60s Batman one. So it's just a great issue. Mark Waid really understands like how to write 60s Batman. So that was a lot of fun, a lot of like alliterations like you would see in 60s Batman. So yeah, and that's what I had this week.
And as I said, I only had Aquaman, Flash, Voidsong. So with that, Mike, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me at Fortress Ricker on Twitter. Where can they find you and or the show?
You can find me at Fortress Chris on Twitter, and the show at Fortress Comics _ on Twitter. Also at FortressComicNews.com. Remember, everybody, to like, subscribe, share, comment down below on YouTube, and to give us a 5-star review in the podcatcher of your choice. Also, there's Patreon at patreon.com/FortressComics. Also, as you're listening to this, I believe... No, next week, the new merch will be hitting the TeePublic store, so keep an eye out for that on July 4th. That is all we have for you this week, and we hope to see you all here next week.
See ya.